I'm a samurai cavalier, and I have performed epic as a skill. I tell the DM I'd like to play through the fire and flames on the loot by myself. He laughs and tells me to go ahead and roll. Nat 20. The crowd was awe-inspired, and it gave us plenty of time to escape. I've got a good one for this, 4.0. The party was fighting on the second floor of some tower, fighting grells. I, a paladin with a +2 or +3 sunblade broadsword, am standing next to a small stream that falls down a ledge, one square behind me, and goes down about 150 feet into a large pool of water. The party is having a somewhat tough time with all these enemies, so I decide to use a daily. I tell the DM and promptly roll a nat 1. Now, I don't know about your groups, but in ours, on a nat 1, the DM rolls his own d20 to decide the outcome. Our method is something like 1 through 16, nothing happens. The attack just fails. 17, 18, it hits a nearby ally, object, the unintended enemy, at a minus. At 19 to 20 is DM's choice. Very bad for the player. DM rolls in the open. It comes up a nat 20, and he just laughs. He abruptly stops and says with a straight face, "You hit yourself." Roll to hit. Of course I roll a nat 20. Whole table laughs. My daily had the 4x damage on a crit. Max damage came out to be enough to bring me down to -1 or -2. As I crit myself, I stumble backwards and fall off the edge. DM rolled the percentage die to see with a 2% chance that I survived the fall, albeit knocked out and needing to roll death points. He rolls and nails the 100%, so there I am, floating in the abyss after rolling a 19 to stabilize myself from rolling death points. In our Pathfinder game, our gunslinger rolled a triple crit one time against a relatively weak foe. We calculate critical damage slightly differently, where a single crit does the crit modifier, and then for every successful critical roll while confirming, you multiply the damage modifiers together. Revolvers have a 4 times crit, and the guy rolled a 20, a 19, a 20, and a 12. He had improved critical. To confirm, meaning the total critical multiplier went up to times 64. That single bullet did 1344 damage. We still lament that it was impossible for him to roll elite damage, because for something that epic, it was completely justified. It was the last session, 3.5, final boss battle versus Tiamat. I was a mid to high level ranger. The previous round I knocked down to exactly 0 hit points, and I was directly next to Tiamat. I told my party to take cover, so the favored soul set up a wall of force, separating everyone else from Tiamat and me. On my turn, I broke the handful of full staff's power I had. DM rolled if I made a strength check, I could break them all, and it would count as 1, but with a lot more, D8, and higher reflex save. First, I rolled a nat 20 on the reflex save against the damage. Yay, evasion. Passed the 50% check to see if I was plane shifted or destroyed, and then out of all the horrible planes I could have gone to, it rolled perfectly to end up in Celestia. So my character sees a flash and the solar over me, and I pass out to blackness. There was this one time where we came across a clan of kobolds in a large room in a cave. It was poorly lit in the edges, so I sneak around to the other side from where we entered and start climbing up. I then drop down from the ceiling and fling shurikens on the way down, killing over half of the kobolds before I land gracefully next to the fire and pop Shroud of Darkness, enabling the party to easily finish off the stragglers. So I was a cleric of Kosuth, god of fire. My domains were renewal and destruction. The abilities being, if I dropped below 0, -10, one time per day, I would automatically heal 1d8 plus level, and a smite that added to my hit DC and damage. So my cousin was some sort of large race, half-dragon, and my character being smaller said, "Throw me at that orc." Our DM rolls his eyes and asked him for a DC on the throw, nat 20. Then I am asked for my roll to hit as I fly toward the orc, so I declare my smite and roll, nat 20 for me. So I proceed to deal with my longsword about 20 points of damage on this 6 hit point orc. I was told, "You fly past the orc and slice him in half." That throw was toward the bridge, right? Well, yes indeed. I had asked to be thrown toward the bridge spanning a 60-foot ravine, so of course over I go. I hit the bottom at -3 hit points, of course activating my heal ability, bringing me right back up to 4 HP. The look on everyone's face as I hopped up at the bottom of the ravine was priceless. In summation, I got thrown over a cliff, killed an orc on my way, and lived through the fall.